Hello, this is David Johnson with Cyber North, and welcome to I Get Asked This a Lot. I think we have a question from the audience this week. Let's see. Yes, Sheep has a question. Sheep says, how do you protect AHV with Cohesity? Thank you very much for the question, Sheep. I would be happy to answer that. This video might be my longest one. I don't know. And we're going to start by jumping into Prism. There is a document out there. Cohesity has a nice little document protecting Nutanix AHV with Cohesity Data Platform. It's about a year old. And we're going to be going through, pretty much registering a Nutanix cluster down to restoring some stuff. That's what we're going to do today. The first thing that we want to do in Nutanix is we want to have either a local account, and you see I am not logged in with a local user, so I need to log out and log back in with a local user so that we can look at what this looks like. Fortunately, I remembered the admin password. Let's go and look here. We'll go down to authentication. And I'm using Active Directory. We could set up a local account for Cohesity backups. I'm using a domain account. It works fine. Setting up a local one is fine as well. If you use, if you want to use a domain account, just make sure that you do role mapping and that the role is cluster admin for what you're doing. The other thing that we want to do is there's the virtual IP that we can use, and there's the iSCSI Data Services IP. You're going to get better performance using the iSCSI Data Services IP for Nutanix. And all of that is explained in this document. So let's go ahead and sign in to this guy, sign into Cohesity. And of course, I already have this registered. Let's do a filter here. So you can see here, I have it registered. I gotta move myself out of the way here. And I'm using, so it used to be called Acropolis Block Services. So my DNS entry is ABS 01. That's what I'm using to connect with that. Again, you can use the cluster VIP if you want. Anyway, you get better performance using the iSCSI Services IP. So you'd go through and register it just like any other hypervisor, right? Register a source, go to hypervisor, pick your AHV, put in either the IP address. I suggest using a host name, so create a DNS entry for your data services IP, put in your username and password that you need to, and then there you go, it's registered. Policies, we've covered policies, I think, already. We don't really need to go into that. And now it's just, creating a protection job. I have an AHV backup here already. This is the one that I'm using. I'll show you what I'm doing here. So my source is, of course, the Nutanix cluster. I'm auto-protecting the entire cluster, except for this one VM, which I'm excluding so that I can do a little bit of testing with you guys here today. But I like the auto protect. It will automatically exclude the CVMs for you because you're using AHV. It's smart enough. It says, "Oh no, this is a CVM. I'm not supposed to back it up," and then it'll just auto protect every single VM that that you have. So that's kind of nice as long as you only need one policy, right? And then I have my policy here, and you can see it. And I have that running every 3 hours. So let's look here. Did I actually create one? No, I didn't. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and create a new protection job, and we'll pick that one VM that I have. And so you see here, I can just search, right? And search for VMs and then pick them. So I picked that. Just click back, added that one VM. We need to name this. And of course, we need to pick a policy. We'll use my AHV backups, and I get to pick a storage domain. And I'm going to pick the default storage domain. Let's go and look at more options. And you know, it's a new group, which is just another name for protection job, right? We can see here it's never going to end. We are indexing. Indexing is enabled by default for virtual machine backups. Don't turn that off. Indexing is really cool. We don't need to worry about any blackouts or anything. My SLA is fine. So we'll go ahead and click protect. And of course, when you create a new protection job, if you don't edit when that backup is going to happen, it happens immediately. So what's going on in on my Nutanix cluster? We can look at some tasks here. You can see some things are happening, right? Creating a snapshot, and then Cohesity is going to, of course, deal with that snapshot. We can go in and look here, and it's starting to do things over here as well. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and pause the recording for a while, and this isn't going to take very long, but I don't really have much to talk about. So I'm going to pause the recording, and we'll be back. Okay, so the backup finished. 2.5 minutes is what it took. If we go back to Prism, we can see here some other things happened. So just a couple more tasks happened. Volume group create happened, named it Cohesity backup. And then when the backup was finished, it deleted it. So perfect, right? Now this is finished, you can go through and see everything that it did. And the backup's done. So now, of course, we want to do a recovery, right? So first thing that we can try is doing a VM recovery. Let's see, this one right here, November 2nd, 3:46. And we'll go ahead and click continue. So what's this look like? Maybe what's it look like? How's it different from VMware? Really, it's not. We can do a copy. We'll add that as a prefix. Oh, that's weird. That is weird behavior. for the prefix. Typing that in, it went backwards. That's okay. I'm just going to keep it. We're going to detach the network. I'll leave the recovered VMs powered off, and we'll go ahead and click finish. Of course, if we wanted to change, we just have the one backup. So, but if we wanted to pick what time it was, we could go ahead and there would be more here. So I'll go ahead and click finish, and now the recovery is going to happen. Now, the big difference between a VM recovery for VMware versus AHV. Let's talk about that while this is running. Of course, if it's VMware, it's going to do an instant restore, right? It's going to mount a new NFS data store to the hypervisor. It's going to register the VM, power it on, and then it's going to recover it back to whatever data store you tell it to. Unfortunately, Nutanix does not expose the APIs for whatever reason. I'm sure they have great reasons for not letting you mount external storage to the hypervisor. So with AHV, you have to do the full recovery. Everybody's on equal footing here, right? This is just something that Nutanix doesn't allow you to do. They don't allow you to mount external storage. So you have to recover the VM, send all of the blocks of data back to AHV, and then AHV will register the VM and take whatever action, whether it's powered on or not. I said to not power it on. So that's what's happening now. We can go to Prism, and a volume group was created for Cohesity recovery. There's going to be some other tasks that happen here. While this is running, we can look at doing some other recovery. We can do a file level recovery, right? And look, it's almost done. You might be able to hear my dogs barking. I have dogs. They're really cute. Let's do files and folders, and I want to search for a file. I don't remember if no, I didn't. I created a file on this VM. This is the VM right here. Oh, AHV file level recovery. That's what I called it. So let's go back to here. AHV file level recovery. There it is. And we want to recover it from this protection group, right? So, and we're going to go and put it on the original server. I'm going to put in my credentials, the administrator credentials for this VM. It auto-filled them, but I don't know what password it used, so I'm going to put my password back in. And hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and delete that file so that we can see that it's recovered. I'm going to tell you a little secret. This is actually going to fail. Unlike VMware, where you can use VMware tools to automatically recover that file, the integration isn't quite there yet with AHV and the Nutanix guest tools. So I know this is going to fail, right? My VM succeeded. My VM here succeeded. So, oh, here's the VM right here. I can just click on it, go right to the VM. There it is. Great. I could now power it on, do whatever I needed to that. What we have to do with AHV, if we want to do a file level recovery, is we have to pre-install the agent, and it's really not a big deal to do that. What I've done is I've already downloaded the 651B. That's the version that I'm using. I've already downloaded the agent. It's kind of not a normal agent install. There's just a command line for it. So if I'm remembering correctly, I probably should have been better prepared for this because I haven't done it in a while. I'm just kind of winging it. That's how I roll. I believe it's just /only agent, but it could be agent only. But I seem to remember that it's only agent for some reason. Yeah, look at that. Well, maybe. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. It shouldn't have. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording, and I'm going to look this up again because it's probably in this PDF document. And I'm going to look it up real quick and not make you watch me do it. Okay, sorry about that. I did find it. It appears to be /type equals only agent. So let's try that. And see if this works. There is a silent. I could have done very silent to that as well, and then it wouldn't have popped up. And then you can do it with a script or whatever and push it out. So we see here, Cohesity service can't be reached on that. So we're going to go ahead and do this recovery again. AHV file over recovery. This is the file that we want to recover. Recover options. And it's going to pass my credentials through to the agent. And we'll start the recovery again. And this time, as long as I have done this correctly, hey, look, there's my file. It just popped in. So this is a test. So there we go. Let's recap. I did registering the source. I mean, obviously read the document that's available. But you know, registering the source, super easy to do. Setting up your protection jobs, pick your VMs, auto protect everything, whatever you want to do, and then recovering either VMs or files. It's pretty simple. It works really well. So if you have any questions, throw something in the comments. Reach out to me. I'll get better at doing these and get a little bit more polished. Although I don't know, I kind of like doing it the way that I'm doing it. So, all right. Vote. Tomorrow is election day, so if you haven't voted, go stand in line. Hope you're someplace warm, standing in line, and vote. So, all right. Have a great day, everyone.